Okay, in this video, I'm gonna show you how to shade a face. So I've already taught you how to get to your face to this point. You should have gone and traced it so that it is all in color pencil. You can't have any graphite on your paper at all once we switch over to color pencil. So I happen to have drawn mine in color pencil, but for most of you, you drew it in graphite first. It should look something like this. And then now you're ready to start to add the skin tones onto the face. So let me go ahead and reposition here. Okay, so what you want to go ahead and do as you start is you want to take a picture that has the same skin tones as the models that we were drawing in class, and you want to go ahead and zoom in. And then you've picked out an array of color pencils. The more the better, that when you compare them to the face, you found all your skin tones. So that's that little light shade there, this spot here is that guy there, all the way into your dark. So I see an ever so bit of black there and right in around the eyes. I've got a gray in there, so you found all your different colors. Then phase one is to go through and shade what you see. So, big again. Okay. I tend to have a pretty loose line. That's kind of just my natural instinct. You notice I'm keeping the pencil fairly loose, and I am not in any way judging what this looks like. I'm putting down what I see, and that is it. Your line type might be more tight than mine, and that is okay. And then I also tend to exaggerate a little bit what I see. That's just kind of my nature as an artist. And this looks really dramatic on the page, and that is also okay. Okay, so you kind of just do an area, and then you switch out as you feel comfortable to the next line of color pencil. Ooh. Makes sense. I guess I'm done with that one. And whenever I'm curious where a color pencil goes, now, this being rough, I do get to the point where I start to smooth it out. So you can see, I feel like this big swatch needs this area. So I stay in that until you stop seeing my color pencil lines. You're going to see them there with the dark, but that's because those are wrinkles. So it does need a little bit of that patchwork. Sorry, I'm trying the best I can to keep my eye out of it. So these pink undertones are almost seen in the wrinkle themselves. They're seen in my highlight. I see them ever so slightly here, but I don't see them there, so I'm not putting them there. So I kind of see this light swatch in there, so I'm gonna switch out and see if I can't start getting some of that on my paper. Again, as I've slowly added this color pencil, it gets less and less lined. Now, the turpenoid that I'm going to add over top of this is yellow. So that's the one thing I'm kind of leaving out, is there's this natural yellow tone here, and I'm not going through a lot of effort to put that in. see fair hints almost of this orange hidden throughout. So I'm putting, in fact, I flipped my pencil over to allow me to leave the color. Just a faint hint of it. I see this gray over here mixed in with some of the browns. If I had my black, I'd be filling this all in black. I'm seeing a lot of this brown right in here. And you'll notice I'm not doing the nose area. I'm actually going to save that for last. I want you to gain comfortability, and this cheek is a good place to start. Kind of see that undertone right in there. I'm also leaving the eye be. Okay. Lastly, I need to do a little something here. And I'm leaving the eyebrows be. I'm going to tone it, but other than that, the hair is the last thing I put down. Now I will go back in and accentuate those wrinkles, but it's not gonna happen right now. Okay, that to me has all of the color that I see here and all of about the right areas. No spot is left white. You kind of want to make sure you have a one layer of color pencil everywhere. So anywhere that you naturally left alone, I tend to come back over with the white color pencil and just make sure it's all there. I'm now going to switch over to the Turpenoid so you can see how that works. So let me pause this here. Okay, so I'm now ready to blend it in with Turpenoid. Sorry, I gotta get readjusted after turning the camera on. The Turpenoid is naturally yellow. So if your person doesn't have an undertone of yellow, like really this guy's undertone is more even of a reddish orange, so I should probably tint this. To tint it, all you have to do is take the color pencils that you feel are primarily their skin color and shave off color pencil into the Turpenoid, and then we let it sit for a couple of days. But I will have multiple levels of toned Turpenoid, so that will help you out. Just make sure you grab the right one for your person, because if they're not yellow and you add yellow, it will be sad. Then, so this guy will look a little bit off. You take your Turpenoid and you take a Q-tip, and then you only get one of these per person, and you start rubbing in the Turpenoid. Now the Turpenoid is an oil, so it's going to, this is why we can't have any graphite, because graphite is not an oil-based product, but it takes a while for oil to seep in where it goes. Now we would always do the whole face. Actually, I'm doing this now just because I want you to see what will happen to your splotchy person. Do not do this step until the very end, because once that oil's on there, it's gonna kind of go everywhere and it turns into a crazy looking mess. So at first you can see that it lifts up and kind of undoes some of your blending. But let me get this first layer I'll put down here. And it allows kind of everything to be seen. but it also turns your canvas now into, and this is kind of nice for you to see, when I put the Turpenoid down and there's not a little color pencil, you can see it relax slightly, but really it doesn't do anything. It's relying on the color that I've picked up from another place, which now I've kind of got that brown tint to kind of do that work for me. Okay, once it's like this, then it's like you're seeing a person who has been skinned, like on a TV show, because you're seeing too much extreme change, right? But this is the beauty of the Turpenoid. Now that it's wet, we will go in and we will add a final layer of color pencil that's the color you would color your person if you didn't know this technique. So you take it and you go over the top and you'll see that it's turning my color pencil like into a water or a liquid, or it's really an oil. And see how it's not responding right there? So that's a sign I need a little bit more Turpenoid in that area. Now this dude is missing his wrinkles now. I've got the dark patch where the wrinkles would go, but in actuality the wrinkles kind of all disappeared. That's something that I will have to go back in and add once this Turpenoid is dry. I couldn't do it right now. It would not work. The face would all go to kaputs if I tried that. It's just that tone. See right there, my color pencil isn't moving around, so I'm gonna add a little bit more Turpenoid. Hopefully on the camera you are seeing the nuances of this and it's not reflecting too bad. And then, like for example, that dark area, oh shoot, I should have colored my pencil while I was. So this is where I can go back in, and if that is supposed to be a little bit darker, I can add in that nuance, but you see it doesn't go very far now that I've got that Turpenoid in place. It does a little bit of work, but not a lot. I want to do the same with any light patches if I feel like I'm not getting quite the effect I want. I want to go back in there and add that. And again, this is where you're kind of seeing my rough. And you'll notice now I'm just able to make subtle changes to the face. All of that roughness is dissipating. You can also see the oil start seeping into the other areas. See how it's starting to seep into the eye? So this is why I would never want to do the Turpenoid too early, because now I'm never going to be able to, like this eye, it's going to look different from this one, because that Turpenoid, it's an oil, it's not water. That means it's never coming out of that paper. It is always going to be influencing any color pencil that I put down after this. So hopefully you're seeing that this is phase 1 in making skin tone. Once you've done both cheek areas, you'll want to move on to the video that discusses cheek areas, I should say, and forehead and chin. My dude happens to have a beard, so I'm going to show beards. But basically anything that's not an eyes, nose, mouth, or an ear should get applied in the same manner.